What you're hearing is not a recording. We are live. How is everybody in the chat? Let's see what we got going on here. BC has been hanging out for a minute. That's awesome to see you, BC. Skydro Walker, I'm glad that you can make it. That's awesome. What's up, FLC? Animal Mother Customs. Cannot miss this. Two of my favorite channels coming together. That's right. Going to be having on David from David Displays Model Behavior all the way from the UK. A big fan of this guy. I'm excited about this. It's going to be too late where he is at when I usually go live in the evening. If I went live at 8 o'clock at night, it would be like 2 in the morning for him. So to be able to do this on this weekend, we are doing it a little earlier on Friday. Very exciting. Hey, BC Barker Creations, what's up? Animal Mother Customs. Jonathan Rice. Yeah, you're over there in Ireland. In that, I was looking at the map. That's like, it's right next to the UK, isn't it? I went to Brainerd School, so I don't know. So I'll probably be asking a lot of dumb questions. A lot of you already know the answers to, but you know, I've never did all that well in geography. Mark. I had to talk to Mark yesterday. What an awesome guy. What do we got going on here? Plug my phone in. I need another little screen here. Russell Cruz. I wonder if I have you written down, Russell. I'm sure I'll end up putting some people's names down on my master list of all the FLCers. Probably getting doubles, but I'll catch them as I go. But I don't. Yeah, Russell Cruz. There you go. Yeah, second to the last person I put on the list. Okay. I gotcha. Skydro Walker. I need to do the lemon, man. I'm a lemon. Skydro Walker on Instagram has some of the best live IGs. He's got this filter. Some of you might have seen it before. It turns into a lemon. It's funnier than hell when he does it. What's up, Toy God? Just finished your last video. Jonathan Patrick Russell, B. Parker. Everybody's flexing their FLC muscle. Very happy that it's not 2 a.m. today, right? You never know. I might jump on here one day at like midnight, 1 or 2, not expecting to see anybody. Probably a couple crazy people like Toy God or something like that that might be up at that hour. Might jump on there, but you never know. You might see me on here sometime in the middle of the night, just get a bug up my ass. You know, when you have everything set up and there's a lot of people like in the community and it's easy to, you know, if it's quiet and you can just jump on and you're used to doing it and all you got to do is hit a few buttons and you're live. You know, if the moment kind of hits at like 11 o'clock at night or 1 in the morning or something like that, you never know. You might see me jump on here. Don't worry, nothing's wrong. I'm just probably in a really good frisky mood, and frisky's probably not the right word to use. Skydro Walker, those pics you post are really inspiring me to do better. That's awesome. We got FLCers inspiring other FLCers, people knowing each other's names, people sending stuff to each other, people joining each other on live chats, IG chats. I mean, what a great community. That's what the FLC is all about. We know that all too well. What up? That could be something. That might just be something. Okay, gotta check my stacks. Rolling through Fleetwood. That's How I Mac. Anybody know what that's from? Okay, what do we got going on here? No emergency messages. Hey, there I am. Yeah, look at me. There I am. Usually I got wearing something that's not so colorful, and everything else in my life I like color, but on camera sometimes it looks better with like a darker shirt. But I'm wearing my Captain America shirt. We're going to be talking about a little bit of Marvel Legends and stuff. If you guys are familiar with David, he's a big Marvel Legends guy, so I'm like really super excited. And once I have Jay on here from Jay, brain fire. He's a YouTuber. He's into He-Man. So when I have him on here, we're going to talk a bunch of He-Man. I got to find somebody who's really like does a channel all about like G.I. Joe. Probably somebody like was it Cobra Island? Dex? He'd be a really good person to have on. We could talk some G.I. Joes. Just got here. Where's David? He is coming. He will be here shortly. Ah, I have not seen your name in the chat for a while. I recognize. Is it Delmus? Delmus? Yeah, I think we got everything rolling on here. Ginger Vitus. Yo, Joe, you see the leaked Elite Series 90 to 91 Rob Van Dam chase? No, I haven't. So we're getting 2 of those airbrushed singlets. Don't know if you're into the wrestling, but I'm excited. If I saw a Rob Van Dam, I would probably grab it. I've been grabbing some of the wrestlers lately. Grabbed Vader not too long ago. I got like Shawn Michaels. One that I was really excited when I saw it was Bret the Hitman Hart. Or no, not Bret. I wish I had that. I saw that when it was out months ago. No, I'm talking about Greg the Hammer Valentine. Is it Valentine? Greg the Hammer. Is it Greg the Hammer? Why am I screwing up my names here? I got a bunch of wrestling figures though. Not a whole lot. My pride and joy is the NWO Ultimate, and then I just got the Macho Man that I'm really excited about, and I started a little Macho Man collection here. I got 4 things in my collection for my Macho Man so far. Because I was watching Macho Man back when he was in his prime. Hey, I bought the rest of the Shang-Chi wave. I still need the one, that other Wenwu, and I just haven't got them because I don't think it's going to be very hard to find them. Is everybody liking up the chat? All right, that's nothing. Let me just set this up here a little closer. Whoa! I just like highlighted everything. What's up, everyone? Let's see, I get caught up here. Boom. Mark Ginger, what do you think about the Shang-Chi trailer? I like the trailer. I know a lot of people aren't all that excited about it, but it looks like it's got potential to be a good movie. I'll see it. If I was younger, if that movie came out like when I was a teenager, kind of like how the original Mortal Kombat movie came out when I was a teenager, when I was really into martial arts and And when martial arts movies were huge back then in like the 90s and stuff, I'd probably be a lot more excited about it. But as a Marvel fan, yeah. Cobra Island. Yeah, I might reach out to him, see if he wants to collab on something. The Viper is coming. The Viper is coming.
Mr. Barbecue. On barbecue, I'm the Viper. I've come to wipe your windows. $5.75 an hour. I start on West Corner.
That's for Skydrawalker. I downloaded that. I edited that down to like, what was it, 20 seconds or whatever. And I put it in my files for my streaming just for Skydrawalker. And then for everybody else to enjoy that worn out VHS quality clip. What happened to Figurehead? Replacing your co-host. No, I'm jumping on here with because I wanted to schedule something with David, and he's 6 hours ahead with his time because he's over in the UK. So this is the only time that we can do it, or else I probably wouldn't be doing a live on a Friday afternoon. But I really wanted to have this guy on. I'm a big fan, and I thought celebrating this 2,000 subscribers would be a great time to have him on. Might be visiting with a couple other people tomorrow. We'll see how things work out. But I'm always wanting to see who I can possibly have on to spark some good conversation and have some viewer crossover and all that good stuff. I think it's going to be good. Just uploaded my first G.I. Joe video earlier today. I'm really proud of it. Nice. Is that must be on your channel? If that's what you're talking about, I will go and check that out. I get so busy and I get into other stuff I forget, so I will write that down. G.I. Joe vid on the Spider Knight. Is that the name of your channel? Got to support the FLCers. Seen Abomination has. Yeah, is that what's going on? I seen that just for a second. Somebody was talking about that or posted that. Is that what we're going to be getting? Does that have to do with more of the Shang-Chi wave? Because the only Abomination that I have, that would be a good one because I don't have that first one that it came out. I just have the one that video gamer version one, which isn't bad if you don't have one. Let's see, excited to see Figurehead Spirit tomorrow. Right on. Cream of the crop. Cream of the crop. Yeah. We got original Smash That Land. That's the first thing he does. Smashes it. Richard Alexander. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Make sure. All right. Things are looking good. How's everybody doing on Friday afternoon? Should be. David should be joining us in a little bit here. Mark, it seems I had y'all laughing with the Batman and Barbara. A rough bit of the Killing Joke yesterday. Is that not your last video, but the video before that? Because I don't think that I have seen that one yet. Greg the Hammer Valentine is right. Yeah, I don't know. I struggle with names to begin with, and then for some reason I get on the chat, and then I really get on the struggle bus. I started with the wrestlers just over a year, and now I'm deep. So be careful. If you're into the Hitman, there's going to be a Hulk. Really, a Hulk Hitman 2-pack? Now that Hitman that it came out with, that wasn't an Ultimate, was it? Because if it was, I'm really going to kick myself for not getting it, because I don't remember if that was an Ultimate one. And I don't know, how old is that Ultimate line that they've been doing? Because I only know of a few of them. I really want to get that Ric Flair that's coming out. And then what's that other one? Oh, is it Stone Cold? The Stone Cold Ultimate would be great for me, because I was a huge Stone Cold fan. Oh, yep. This guy, Joe Walker. Too nice to me. Davindo Viper. The Viper is coming. Wait, Mike. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Thanks, Mark. Really happy to see Toy God and Mark and Jonathan Rice and everybody. Skydro Walker. Awesome to see all you guys in the chat. That's right. Go follow Turtle Build Customs on Instagram. He is awesome. That little cartoon, little round circle thing of me on the thumbnail for this, that little guy of me, that's Jonathan. Jonathan Rice designed that. And I think we are ready. I want to introduce.
There's a new Street Fighter on your windowsill. The weapon is peace. The word is chill.
All right. Well, copyright strike right there, my friend. I'm going to have this video. Oh, no. All right. Hello there, guys.
I wanted to do you right, so.
Thank you for the introduction, man. It's a pleasure to be here. Nice to meet you face to face as well.
Yes, yeah. We haven't got a chance to formally talk yet, so this is very exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. We're doing the YouTuber equivalent of two dogs sniffing each other's butts, just to get a measure.
Right. So what do you got going on today? You got a busy schedule, or?
Well, actually, if we're going to be talking shop, then right now what my schedule is currently editing my next video, which is going to be a gigantic unboxing of pretty much every Mcfarland DC Batman metal figure. I went a little bit nuts. I decided that I wanted a couple of the Batman metal designs because I'm not a big DC guy, but they look really cool. So I saw someone was selling a bundle, and I was like, yeah, go on then. So I filmed myself ripping into, yes, that's what I'm talking about, exactly. But see, I'm confused actually because I've got that figure, but he doesn't have the red guitar. I bought them all out of the boxes. So
right.
Are there two versions?
Yes, there is. There's the first one that you have that kind of was going with the bike, the Bat Cycle. Yeah. That's the one that goes on there, and then I don't know why. The only difference that I'm aware of is he has the guitar, and then it has the Build-A-Figure pieces to the Dark Father.
Man, and I thought Hasbro were cheeky with their extra figures just to get some more product out the door. That's pretty rough, actually. Just throwing in one extra accessory, dude. Come on, guys, we can do better than this.
And then they're doing, I got the black and red Hellbat, and then he came out with the gold version. So it's just a repaint of the same figure. So they're doing that with that.
See, that does look pretty. I like the gold is kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, I just picked that one up. I had it pre-ordered on Amazon, and I stopped at GameStop the day before yesterday, and I seen it there, and so I looked on my phone quick just to kind of check the price, because it was about $5 more than I expected. It might have even been $10 more. But I looked on my Amazon before I bought it, and it disappeared. So I don't know what happened to it. And I'm like, well, I have it in hand, so I'm just going to buy it. It was $30.
Right. Yeah, an action figure in hand is worth 2 on Amazon. That's
Right.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Although I tell you what, it's been interesting. It's been interesting looking at these Mcfarland figures, because I've not collected any Mcfarland DC figures, and it's so funny weighing up the pros and the cons compared to Marvel Legends and what I like, what I don't like. And I gotta say, Mcfarland, like the sculpts are beautiful, but boy, they could do with some extra like thigh articulation, some more swivels, and a bit more posability. I think we could do.
Yeah, that's the biggest gripe with people that are buying those is the articulation. And McFarlane is set in his ways, and he wants it to look more emphasis on looking cooler. And if we can fit some articulation, maybe it's not a big deal. I just want it to look as cool as I can, and that's just kind of his thing.
Yeah, yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
but at the same time, Todd, it's not 2000 anymore. It's not even 1999. We should, like, technology is at a level where we can have both. Is all I'm saying.
Well, I've always cut McFarlane a lot of slack, because I feel like if it wasn't for him, all figures across the board would not be as cool as they are today. I think he had a huge hand in that, because when he started doing them, he's like, the paint apps on figures suck. He's like, I'm gonna make them look cool. I'm gonna cover them all the way around with paint. I'm not gonna be cheap with the paint apps, and I want them to be bigger. I want them to be cooler, and that had an influence across everything.
Absolutely. I remember when I was collecting McFarlane toys at the end of, like, in the late 90s, there was nothing else like that on the shelves. It was completely, they absolutely ran the game themselves, and then other companies started to catch up, and then even eclipse McFarlane, and then McFarlane were kind of an afterthought. So it's nice to see them making a comeback, really. It's only been in the last, I don't know, what, sort of 2 or 3 years that the name McFarlane has sort of become a staple in toys again. He kind of took a little backseat for a while.
Yeah, I think most people that knew the McFarlane name probably were Spawn fans for the most part, or into the comics. What's the comic line that he helped start?
Image,
yeah. People that were Image fans and Spawn and that kind of. But I think, yeah, he's definitely got pushed out front and center more once he started with the DC Multiverse figures, which I absolutely love. I love all the different versions of Batman, and I've always been a DC fan. I have way more Marvel Legends than anything, because I think most people do when they get into this hobby. They start getting into the Marvel Legends, and the Marvel Legends just keep coming, and there's so many of them. So it's hard not to have, once you start collecting them, it's hard not to, acquire tons of them. Yeah,
it is. It's like tribbles on Star Trek. They just start multiplying, and then you're opening up cupboards, and they're all falling out, and it's like, what am I going to do with all these Marvel Legends? But it's something you have to sort of try and rationalize. And I thought to myself recently, I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell some of these ones that I really don't need. And I really made an effort to pick off all the ones that I thought I don't need, and I boxed them up. And I was like, nah, it's as far as I can go. I can't sell these guys. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look for more shelf space. I couldn't bring myself to get rid of them. So there's a few figures that have got a last minute reprieve, but I was close. I was close to downscaling, but I don't need to yet. So
I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, I know, right? It's tough. At least I think they can breathe a sigh of relief, because I'm looking at them now. I like these Batman metal figures, but I've never been a big DC person, so I don't feel like I need to keep collecting them, because I tried reading. I read the first Knight's metal story arc, and because I don't have a big DC background, I was like, this is diving into the deep end of the pool. You know, I couldn't really get into it, and that's not saying it was bad writing or anything. It just means I didn't have the knowledge to really appreciate it. So I think I might just run back to the safety of Marvel, where I know what's going on.
I hear you. Yeah, I got what was it? Yeah, just last night I picked up that new because that's new around here right now.
And that's the movie one, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a black suit, so I was really excited about that.
Oh, hey, it's Matt from Nerdzoic in the chat. Hey, Matt, good to see you, bud.
Hey, Nerdzoic is here. You don't have your Ben Reilly Spider-Man handy, do you?
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because as a matter of fact, let me just grab my Ben Reilly here, because of course he's been in the news. We have Ben Reilly Spider-Man in a costume that is just so perfect. Why would anyone ever change it if they were to say bring him back into the comics in an upcoming storyline? Why change it? It's perfect. But no. Some new writer and artist have to change his costume, but at least we are getting Ben Reilly back as Spider-Man later on this year. So I'm very excited about that.
Is that this body that it's supposed to be? Is that the body it came with?
It's not the head it came with.
Okay, because I think I'm pretty. Oh, that looks. I have so many Spider-Man figures. That looks so familiar. It almost looks like one of the female Spider-Mans. Because isn't there one that has those?
This design is the original. This is the Ben Reilly costume, but Mayday Parker in MC2 when she so Peter Parker's daughter, who became Spider-Girl, she took this design for her Spider costume. So this kind of lived on after Ben Reilly, but he's the original person who had this design here.
All right.
Which for some reason Marvel have chosen to change for Ben's new story arc. But there you go. We got to have an excuse for more action figures, which I'll be buying. So I can't complain too much.
And that's your favorite Spider-Man?
Oh, easily, which probably has a lot of nostalgia to do with it. You know, I grew up, I started reading comics in the middle of the Clone Saga. So Ben Reilly was absolutely like my Spider-Man. So it was when I saw that this figure available in the shops, that was my first Marvel Legend, because I was just like, oh my God, they've made a Ben Reilly Spider-Man. I absolutely have to have this. And then, that went to, I need to have all the Clone Saga related figures, and then the rest is history, you know? I guess there weren't that many directly Clone Saga related figures, so I had to broaden my horizons a little bit. Okay.
Well, I had to grab my favorite Spider-Man figure, and I'm not a gamer, but I absolutely love this Spider-Man. There's just something about this design and the big white spider, and I don't know. I have it with the plastic webs hanging underneath my Spider-Man shelf back there by the skateboard light. But he always hangs there. But I wanted to grab him because I wanted to show my favorite Spider-Man after finding out which one that you're sweet on there.
Yeah. This is actually the Ps4 Spider-Man. That is a costume design that really grew on me, because I remember when I first saw the Spider-Man trailer for the game, which was years ago now. I think myself and a lot of people saw the bright white spider and the white highlights, and we were like, ugh. You know, I'm not too sure about that, but oh my goodness, that design just grew on me every time I saw it. And now, that's one of my favorite Spider-Man figures as well. It's completely unique. It stands out amongst all the other mixtures of red and blue. So no, I'm a big fan of that guy.
I grabbed this guy off the shelf. He's kind of been in a fixed position since 2017. Literally.
I tell you what, I again, that's another figure I really like. I wish he had more hands to play around with. I think it's just the two fisted hands. So I always feel whenever you have a Spider-Man, we've been spoiled now. I want all 6 different hands to play around with to get more dynamic poses. But right. I was really annoyed because I did a video a couple of days ago, which was a retro wave review, which was the Sandman wave, and I forgot that Spider-Man 2099 was in that wave because he was, I don't know how they do it, but there's like I don't think that they do it anymore, but in a wave, they would have one character that was like a repaint or like a chase version. So in that wave, there was Spider-Man UK and there was Spider-Man 2099, and they were kind of like the same kind of character. Like some packs would have one, or I don't know how it works. They often do them with repaints. Like there was another wave that had Toxin and Anti-Venom. So you had like a red one and a white one, and I don't know. But either way, long story short, I forgot that Spider-Man 2099 was in that wave. So I made the whole video. I was really proud of it, put it out there. People enjoyed it. And then someone went, dude, you do know that 2099 was in that wave too? And I was like, son of a biscuit.
Do you have this one? What did you think of these ones? I know this is more of the Gamerverse.
Yeah, well, actually, if I'll get super nerdy, I don't mind that too much because it's in the Gamerverse packaging and it is in the game, but that is a comic book costume, so I kind of dig that because that was in a Spider-Man story called Ends of the Earth, which was like a Sinister Six type story, which is quite a modern one. It was when Dr. Octopus was. It was before they did the body swap, and Octopus was dying in his giant life support thing. Anyway, he wore that spider armor in the comics, so I thought, okay, that actually that works. I mean, I would have bought it anyway, but I would have been kind of begrudgingly buying it because it's not in the comics. But that one is, so it's okay. The Velocity suit, though, I didn't want to buy, but you know, it had the Demo Goblin. No, was it the Demo Goblin bath piece? No,
I think so.
Oh, it was. I think it was.
Both of those.
We'll go with
wasn't both of the Gamerverse type looking Spider-Mans in that?
That's right, and it was the Vulture.
And wasn't this guy in there too?
Yeah, Vulture, Shang-Chi, White Rabbit. That was it.
Yeah, I still have White Rabbit in the package for some reason.
Man, I love that White Rabbit figure. I'm a big fan of that figure.
I think this is one of the. Once I got him out and I started posing him, because I didn't open him for like almost a year, and I think I opened him just this last December, and he had came out at the beginning of last year in that wave. And I opened him up and I put those nunchucks in his hands and I posed him. I'm like, I found him so easy to pose and to get, his arms.
Yeah. I'm gonna steal fantastic. That nunchuck pose. That's really cool. I dig that nunchuck pose. I'm terrible at coming up with good ideas for posing, but that's great. That's really cool.
I am no poser and I don't think of ideas. I used to do nunchucks or thought that I could. So it was easy for me to think of a basic nunchuck pose since he had them. But I was just so amazed, like how easy. Same thing with like old man Hawkeye. He was really easy to pose. I took him out. I opened his legs a little bit, bent his knees, put that bow in his hand. And it was almost, maybe to exaggerate a tiny bit, but it was almost like I put that bow in his hands and it was like magnets. And it was just, everything just fit. And I
was really surprised by that too.
Figures.
Yeah, there's a kind of an ergonomic design that the Hasbro are really good with that. And the fact that you can have that kind of perfect statue type pose, but then you still have the posability on top of that so you can really play around with them if you want. Mm-hmm. I think that's really great. And that's somewhere where the Mcfarland ones, they do fall down a little bit. I feel like Mcfarland figures are they're like the stopgap between Marvel Legends and NECA, because NECA is pretty much a statue for a lot of points. It's like you don't want to play around with it or mix them up too much. But yeah, Mcfarland seems to be in the middle. But really, for Hasbro, it's the kit bashing for me. The fact that you can just swap heads and hands and arms and accessories and everything so easily, that's wonderful. I think no company can touch them for that.
Yeah, some of the Mcfarland DC figures, a few of them look good in the box. I have a couple that, like, I have the Red Hood that's in the single, and then I had bought the Red Hood that came in the 2-pack with Nightwing. So I took those out, but I have the Red Hood single one, and I won't take him out of the box because I already have a Red Hood out, and he's hanging next to the old Mattel Multiverse version of Red Hood. So those will stay in the box. Some of them look good in the box, and then the rest of them are basically take out, put it on the shelf, stand in however you can, And then you look at them.
Yeah.
They're not really, for the most part, they're not for a lot of photography or posing and stuff. And that's fine with me because I love the way they look on the shelf, especially with the Robin Crows and all those ones. I absolutely love them.
Oh yeah, that was one of the main reasons I bought the bundle of figures that I did, because I first of all, I heard that the Robin Crows are a bit difficult to get hold of now. They're not like impossible, but they're a little bit hard to find. And this bundle had all three with the 3 different heads, and that was enough for me. I thought, okay, you know what? I'm getting the what's the name of the Batman who laughs with the wings?
Yeah, the Batman who laughs.
That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so him with the 3 crows on a leash on a flight stand, like, oh boy, that looks cool.
And you got them all at one time.
Yeah, that was a big ass unboxing.
Wow, I had to hunt each one down.
Well, to be honest, I would have found that more satisfying if I had done that. I would have spread the joy a little bit, but no,
right.
I just got a big ass box of figures, and I was like, well, it's time to tear into these. So I'm editing that video at the moment, because I'm a little bit compulsive, so I try to get a video up at least every other day, and sometimes the schedule falls off a little bit, but I'm kind of keeping a good sort of rhythm at the moment. And I don't know about you with your videos, but I love the little sort of interaction in the premieres you can do, and just the little kind of dopamine hit when you put a new video and it's like, all right, let's see how this one does, you know?
Right. I hear you. I have a question for you about your videos, but before I forget, I put him up here. He's usually pretty close because this is my favorite figure of the year so far, and I wanted to know what you thought of him or if you had him. It was the Marvel Select Hulk.
Oh yes, I don't have that figure. No, I've been tempted. I was very, very tempted. If this was about 6 months ago, I probably would have got him when I had more space. But I have to be really cautious now with just, do I need this figure? And oh my goodness, the FOMO I was having when people were posting their pictures of their new Select Hulk, I was like, oh man, it does look really good. So yeah, I totally get it, but yeah, I just couldn't justify it, even though I would really like another Green Hulk, because I've got the 80th one, but I kind of pose my figures sort of chronologically and in like timeline type order, and the Green Hulk pops up a lot, so I could definitely do with another Green Hulk. So maybe if I see someone selling him cheap on the groups, I'll swoop in there and see if I can find myself a bargain. But yeah, he looks like a great figure.
He is. I absolutely love him. All the reviews that I've seen with him, and he's always compared to the 80th anniversary one, and the Marvel Select one always wins, even if it's by a little bit. People always, he's just a little better. He's a little bigger than the Legend, but he still scales awesome with Marvel Legends, and there's just something about him, his weight and everything. I really like him, and I'm glad that I got him, towards the first part of the year, so I could talk about him all year long until you come out with your top 10 favorite figures of the year when December hits.
You see, that's something that might make me end up getting him before the end of the year, because I like having that figure of the year conversation. I like having those figures. So that was the same reason why last year I bought the Mcfarland Spawn figure, the Mortal Kombat Spawn figure, because everyone was doing their top 10 lists and he was featuring so high, and I was like, again, you get that FOMO. It's like, I want to be a part of the conversation. I want to have this good figure on my shelf. So yeah, I think Select Hulk, he might be making an appearance before the end of the year. We'll see.
That'll be awesome. Yeah, when I saw it, I didn't even know that Spawn one. When I bought him months ago, I didn't know that there was a big thing going on with him or that he was popular. I don't even remember what I was thinking when I bought him, but I bought him, and then I found out he was really popular. And now if you try to get him, he's pretty expensive.
Yeah, I think I did sell him eventually, but I think that was just because I don't like having random figures where I don't have anywhere to put them. I think that's probably why I ended up buying the Batman metals all in one go. It was like, great, well, they can all go together. Because Spawn on his own, I was just like, don't know what to do with you, pal. You look good, but I can still sell you for what I paid. So I'm going to cut my losses. But at least I got to include him in some top 10 videos. But also, I really would like to get my grubby hands on the Kickstarter Spawn.
Oh,
but,
sure.
Yeah, I'm so annoyed that completely passed me by. I had no idea there was a Kickstarter Spawn until it was out. And I was like, how did I miss this? Because that's the thing. It looks like an amazing figure for $60, but not more than $60. Like, that's the problem. I can't get it for what it originally went for, and I ain't paying more. So
I know
might be analog on
had
that.
an issue with like the cape and stuff.
Have you heard of there being issues? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, and I remember the first time I even heard about it was over on Unparalleled Universe's channel, and Wade was talking about it, and he had it, and he's a big Spawn fan, and it was I've never been a huge Spawn, like I never read Spawn. I never was really all that into comic books, but I remember the 90s movie Spawn. That was kind of like unfortunately, that was my introduction to Spawn.
Yeah, I remember that. We're old enough to have lived through that.
You know, before it got to the good stuff, the good, you know, superheroes of nowadays that we've got.
Yeah, the 90s were pretty rough.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, the 80s and 90s.
It's true.
I was going to ask you, how do you come up with your video ideas and stuff like that to try to keep consistency? Like you said, you try to do it every other day and stuff.
That's a big thing, because I think I realized very early on, before I even started making videos, I thought there's no point in me just trying to just do reviews where you just see my hands holding a figure and saying, oh, this is the articulation and stuff, because loads of people do that, and I probably couldn't do that. Even if I did my absolute best version of that, it probably wouldn't be as good as people who have been doing it for years. You know, it's like there's no point in me just having a white background and showing a figure, because Sheldon Prime does that, and he has 500,000 subscribers. So it's like, why is anyone going to watch Dave? So instead, I thought, well, what are people not doing? And that's where I try to think of, you know, for most videos is just what is not being covered, or what's the point? What would I like to see? Because I have a really short attention span, which people can probably tell from my videos. And I even get bored of myself halfway through a sentence. So that's why I think a lot of my videos are very rapid fire and bap, 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 and lots of cuts and changes and angles, because I want things that are A, going to be visually interesting, and B, that, as a lot of people say, and I do take it as a compliment, that they put me on when they're doing something else, because I make a good background noise. And that's what I like as well. I like being able to put a YouTube video on where there's gonna be, I like to give out information and, you know, little tidbits and nuggets and story chunks. I love iceberg videos, for example. Iceberg videos are great because you get little factoids and pieces of information every couple of seconds, and it's always like, oh, and that's kind of what I like. So that's what I try to do, basically, because most toy, if it's just a straight up review, I get kind of bored of that. So I think, all right, how can I just spice things up a little bit? I think most of the time I do. I don't think I have too many duds on my channel. It's probably a few, but not too many.
Well, I enjoy it, and I think that's one of the keys. I mean, they say that when you're doing videos is to try to keep things moving, to do some cuts, to zoom in, zoom out, keep people's eyes moving, because people in general, when they're on YouTube, it's 3 seconds is all you have, really. You know, every few seconds you need to be changing, because people get bored. And I mean, you could be giving them gold, you could be giving them pearls, and all the things that you're saying. And if it's just a stagnant shot, you better be pretty damn charming, because you really need that. You need it moving. Yeah,
it's all about, like any good magic act, it's all about the smoke and mirrors. You know, you've got to give the audience a reason to keep watching. And it's like, I know I'm hilarious, but someone's not going to stick around for the first 30 seconds to hear that. You've got to really, you know, people's time is valuable. We have so many different things, especially when you're watching YouTube. You're literally shown like 10 different videos you could be watching. So yeah, I think it's definitely a case of maximizing the time and maximizing the minutes. Although one thing that being like a little bit dyslexic, I can never sort of wrap my head around is looking at the YouTube analytics and seeing like at what point people skip the video or at what point people switch off. I'm sure there's some really useful information there. I never read it.
Yeah, I think if you go into like your YouTube studio, it'll say like it'll show you the average view of that video.
Yeah.
And then you can go back and like when you publish your video, there's you could put a tag in there to highlight like another playlist or another video.
Yes, I need to do that more. I'm very lazy with that.
If you go in after the fact, after you see kind of the average duration, like let's say 5 minutes and 30 seconds was the average duration of that video. If you go in there and you after the fact and you put a tag for other videos around that time of your average, then people when they get there, they might, instead of them jumping off and going to a different channel, you might grab some people and keep them on your channel to go look at other videos.
That's really interesting. See, that's just a smart little thing that I didn't even know about. That's the thing. I'm a very kind of insular kind of person, so I don't talk to other folks as much as I should do. If I glean some more information from people who have been doing this for a while, I probably would be a little further ahead. But I just kind of fumble and bumble my way through, probably missing out on some good opportunities. But you know, hey,
well, you've been doing this for a while.
It's been just over a year now. Yeah, just over a year. I think my first video was like May of last year, give or take.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah. It's it has been quite a quick development for the channel. Like I was never. It's such a cliche. I think like everyone says it, but I was never expecting this to be a thing. But I used to post. Well, I still do post on Facebook groups a lot because I would love the banter on Facebook groups, and I would always love trying to make people pop with like a funny picture or a comment or a caption or something. So it was when I got my Ghost Rider's figure that I was so impressed with it. I filmed like a super quick video and put it on the Facebook group, and people were like, "Oh, this is fun. You should do more of these." And I was just like, "Well, challenge accepted," and the rest is history.
Is that the one with the motorcycle?
Yes. That's I don't think where I've got him. Oh, he's buried behind a bunch of figures. Yeah. That's the one with the bike. It's a really great looking figure. Although I kind of wish that we would get a new version with the 90s Ghost Rider. Is it Danny Ketch? Or I think it's Danny Ketch is the 90s one. I always get confused with that. But I'm a big fan of him.
That one?
Dude, that's the one. Isn't that a badass figure?
I never got the one that it was like, what was it, like half spaceship or some crap?
Oh, the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I never got that one.
Yeah, I like that guy. I'm a big fan of Cosmic Ghost Rider. I keep trying to reach for figures and then realizing that they're at the back of the shelf somewhere. But, yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider is a very fun character, and I was always like when I first saw the character, I thought, this is just kind of a Deadpool sort of ripoff. But actually, there's a lot of nuance and heart in the stories, so I kind of dig it. And then it's really fun if you've got the 3 different Punisher riders. So you can have like the human Punisher, the Ghost Rider, and then Cosmic Ghost Rider. It makes like a nice kind of little timeline sort of display. So that's
I have the Punisher with the helmet and the machete and all that with the motorcycle, but I don't have the Cosmic. And I kind of, when I first saw that Cosmic Ghost Rider, I didn't think much of it. I didn't know the story. I thought it looked kind of too toyish in a way, but now I wish I would have gotten it because it's you know, I missed out.
Yeah, which again, that's why you always end up buying figures that like maybe you don't regret, but you think, did I need to buy that? Because you're always afraid of not being able to get hold of it when everyone else has it. And I think, to be honest, that's probably why I bought Retro Rogue, for example. It's because I already had the Juggernaut one, but everyone was getting so excited about Retro Rogue, and then finally I went to buy it, and it was all sold out. And once it was sold out, then I thought, oh my god, I have to get this figure now. So I eventually got hold of her. But now I'm like, I only really got this because everyone was going mad for it. It's the funny
now
one.
you don't have to regret. You don't have to regret regret missing out on it because you have it.
Exactly. I think it's better to regret buying a figure than regret not buying a figure.
100%. I couldn't agree more.
As said by any other addict in the world.
That's right.
Yeah, it's terrible. But actually, you know what? I have taken a big step recently because I cancelled my pre-orders for Green She-Hulk and Maestro Hulk. I was like, you know what? Don't need them. Don't need them. Don't want them. That was a big one. That was a really big one. But hear me out on this. Like, if you were a betting man, tell me you wouldn't place a bet on there being a new Green She-Hulk in her proper white and purple gear coming out in about a year, give or
if
take.
They know what's good for them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They do, because they gave us the least desirable She-Hulk first. They gave us the gray She-Hulk first, which no one was begging for, but there you go. So everyone bought that, and now everyone's going to buy the green version in the ripped clothes. And finally, then they will release the Green She-Hulk in her proper Avengers-type gear. And I'm like, you know what, Hasbro? I respect your game, but I'm not going to play it this time. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to get Green She-Hulk. I don't need her in her ripped-up clothes. I'm going to wait to get the proper costume. So we'll see if my patience pays off or not.
Yeah, I think if they would have came out with the green one first and then a year later came out with the gray one, nobody would buy the gray one because they'd have the one they wanted.
Exactly, and I get it. I'm working on a video at the moment, but it's going to be a long process because I'm actually putting some more time into this one. But it's kind of a jokey sort of trial of Hasbro. Like, are Hasbro like good for the consumer? Are they bad for the consumer? What's the deal with Hasbro? And the more I look into it, the more I really think about it, I actually got a lot of appreciation for Hasbro and what they bring to the table as far as the selection they give us of action figures. And they do things like that where they don't trick us, but they do kind of trick us into buying the gray She-Hulk and then releasing the green one. Like, it is a strategy, but at the same time, by doing that, it allows them to make enough money on the popular figures to be able to make obscure figures. So I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, they make you chase the carrot. They hang that carrot out in front of you, and
absolutely, and that's half the fun. And similarly, that was my logic for Maestro Hulk as well. I'm just thinking, like, a lot of people were upset because it's just the same Hulk with a different head, basically. And the Maestro in the comics, he's got pants that he wears and big boots, and he does look quite different. So I just feel like, nah, this is the prototype Maestro. Give it 2 or 3 years, we're gonna have the proper Maestro. We just gotta sit tight. So I'm gonna sit tight on that one. I'm gonna wait.
Do you have a Jake the Snake Roberts figure?
Dude, Jake gave me a figure years and years
ago. That's what I was leading into.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did you were in the wrestling business at one time?
I was. It feels like a lifetime ago, but yeah, from about the year 2000, I started training to be a wrestler. So I would have been about 19 at the time, and I've been a fan of pro wrestling. I've been obsessed with pro wrestling. Like, you see how obsessed I am with comics and action figures. Like, pales in comparison to how obsessed I was with pro wrestling. So yeah, I trained to wrestle in the UK for about a year or so, and then I went to a show as a fan because I saw that Jake the Snake was on it. And I said, what is Jake the Snake doing on a random show in the middle of nowhere in England? And let's face it wasn't a good time in his life. If you're wrestling at the Southampton Guildhall, you're not doing too well for yourself.
Right, yeah.
But I was there. So yeah, I hung around afterwards to just get the chance to talk to him. And he told me, I was a big dude at the time. I still am. I'm still as tall as I was, but I was pretty jacked, like, back in 2000. And he was like, man, you're a big guy. Have you thought about doing this? And I was like, well, it's funny you should mention that, Jake. I actually have started training. And he told me that he had a school in London that he's been training a bunch of guys. And yeah, I trained with Jake for about 3 years. Yeah, about 3 years actually. Jeez, that's crazy how fast the time goes. But yeah, Jake lived in London for a while, and we would go up and down the roads and wrestle on shows around the UK, and it was a good time. And then when he moved back to America, shortly before he went in and moved in with DDP and sort of got himself cleaned up and back on track. I went over there and sort of stayed with him in Florida for a while, and it was a crazy ride, man. It was a really crazy ride.
Really? So you've had contact with him since he got into recovery after the DDP thing?
The last time I spoke to him was just after he had started living with Dallas Page. So we're going back nearly about 10 years now. Well, probably is about 10 years since he moved in with DDP, and they did that because I saw a news report that he was moving in with DDP, and I thought, oh, that's fantastic. So I gave him a call. I phoned him up and I just said, hey Jake, I just want to say I'm really proud of you. I hope that this goes well. Wishing you all the best. And Jake is actually the most welcoming, hospitable human being in the world. He said, like, hey man, this place is amazing. Dallas is awesome. We got spare rooms over here. You can come out. You can stay with us. I mean, like, I sound like a total fantasist, but I swear this is true. but yeah, I was married at the time. I had a job, a house, all sorts of things going on. Not like now. I've kind of regressed. But as much as I would have loved to have up sticks and got over and stayed with Jake and DDP for a while, I couldn't do that. But it gave me so much happiness to see him recover and get his life back in order. It's been really amazing to see that. So that's super awesome. Every time I see him on AEW, I got a big old smile on my face. It's lovely.
What did you think of his interview on Joe Rogan when he did that about a year ago or so?
Well, that was kind of a funny one because, to be honest, I only watched a tiny bit of that interview, but the main reason I didn't watch any more of it was because, and I think this is true for all pro wrestlers, I've heard all those stories so many times. Oh. so many times. And they're great stories, and he tells them amazingly, but like I've had so many nights where you just kind of sit under the learning tree and just have Jake talk to you, and it's fascinating. But then you will get the same stories again and again every now and then. It's like, I know how this one goes. It's okay. But yeah, I love them. Cool. I absolutely love them to death. And look, I'm not delusional either. It's like, this is something where in my life I'll talk about this experience for the rest of my life. If someone mentions my name to him, he'll be like, Dave, do I know that guy? It's like, oh yeah, that guy, yeah, the guy from England, yeah, I remember him. Yeah. It's like, what was his name? Darren? It was David. All right.
Well, you guys, you spent a lot of time together, but still, he's probably. I mean, some people are bad with names, and he's probably encountered how many people in his life,
Oh, God, yeah, absolutely.
Go through the Rolodex in your head quick to try to. Yeah. How many Davids do I know? Which one is that?
I tell you what, probably the nicest sort of the nicest memory I have from my time with Jake was when we were living in England, and I invited him over to my parents' house for like a kind of a family barbecue because I thought, well, this would be interesting. I wanted to introduce Jake to the family, and my grandmother lived with us at the time, and you can imagine like Jake is an intimidating handful of a human being, but he was the most sweet, meek, polite person with my grandmother. He was so respectful and dutiful to her, and just calling her ma'am and showing such reverence to someone of an older generation. I was like, oh, wow, I've never seen that side of this person before, and that was really, really lovely. So Jake Roberts, great with the elderly.
I just remember when he would get in the ring, and he never had the genetics of like an Ultimate Warrior or something like that, but he had something where he could just stop. He could be leaning on the ropes, and he would just give a look that could just scare the hell out of people. And other wrestlers would be like, "Yeah, like that was real."
Yeah.
That look, he made up for things that he might have been lacking with the way that he moved, the way his intimidation, and something in his eyes was just. I mean,
absolutely. That was probably one of the biggest lessons that he would teach is how to play to your strengths. Because that's it exactly. Like you say, he wasn't built like the Ultimate Warrior or a Hogan or anything, but he had things that they didn't, and he knew how to play on that and really emphasize his strengths. And yeah, he was absolutely magnetic watching him on TV. That was really, really something. So I think to an extent, someone asked me a while ago why I don't collect wrestling figures, and that's kind of the reason, because I'm like a frustrated. Yeah, it's because I'm a frustrated wrestler. I know I never got the action figures made of me, and because I genuinely I've known so many of the people over the years that I don't want to say bitter, because I'm not bitter, but it's just it just feels weird. I'm like
incomplete.
No. Pardon?
Incomplete.
To an extent, yeah, because it's like, especially with the AEW figures, like when I was living in Japan, I got the chance to hang out and train with Omega and the Bucks and the Good Brothers and a bunch of the New Japan guys, because they would go to the same gym that I went to in Osaka whenever they were in town. So like I kind of knew them as kind of like contemporaries, and I felt like I feel like a mark if I'm buying their action figures. It's so stupid. It's really, really dumb, but it's just something about me where I'm like,
it's just how you feel.
Yeah, it's weird.
Is there any pictures out there that somebody could go and find to see when you were in your wrestling days?
Probably the most is probably on my Instagram, but actually I don't even have many of those. But I think the link to my Instagram is on the description of most of my videos. It's just displaying _ behavior, and I think I've got a couple on there. The funny thing was also, just again sort of showing the age here, when I was wrestling in the mid 2000s, like we didn't have as good a camera phones and stuff back in the day. Like social media wasn't as useful or ubiquitous as it was. So I don't have that many pictures and mementos, but I've got a few. So most of them are on my personal social media. But I think I might have to put some on the model behavior social media, because
I don't remember seeing any.
In that case, I will update my Instagram tonight with some classic wrestling pictures from back in the day.
Because I would love to see a picture of you when you were in your heyday of wrestling. Because I mean, I figured there's probably not a lot of like you said, cell phone pictures and stuff, but like a regular camera, I would imagine that somebody close to you had a regular camera and took a picture of you standing there or with somebody else.
I've got a few that I've kind of kept, and even just scanned a couple onto the computer, because. It's also it's one of those things again. Like I don't like to look at them too much, because it always feels like the road not taken, And in fairness, it was taken, and I just didn't succeed in it. But it feels like I don't want to dwell on that too much. But I do have some. So actually, that's a good reminder to put some up there, because I know a lot of people have been asking me to do that. So yeah, I'll share a few. I'll tie a little string around my finger to remind me to put some on social media tonight.
Well, you definitely don't have anything to regret, because you got all this like from a dream, all these stories and memories, touring around with Jake the Snake. You were a wrestler, you were in the ring, you got to do it, and it's kind of like the way that I feel about YouTube. I figured once I get 6 months in, even if it's a colossal failure, at least I won't have to look back and regret not trying.
Absolutely. So it's only been about 6 months, is that right? When did you start?
Well, I officially launched the channel on November 13th, so it's just been going on 7.5 months.
That's not bad at all, actually. So what was the original kind of impetus? You know, like why did you want to make the channel, or what did you think you wanted to bring to the YouTubing arena?
Well, I wanted to do something with what I'm most passionate about. I tried a small little channel back in 2018, and it was kind of a lot of vlogging. Kind of thought I was Casey Neistat maybe, or I was really influenced by the whole vlogging thing. And
Right.
I didn't have enough time with my job because I was working 12, 13-hour days. And to stay consistent with those videos, I didn't have it. And I think I got up to, like, at the time, I think my highest was like 25 subscribers, because I didn't stick with it, and it kind of died. I mean, it's still out there, but it was more just vlogging, talking about being in recovery, because I sobered up from alcohol 6 years ago. So I talked a lot about that. Thank you. And just kind of being a dad, like a sober single dad, because I did a lot of videos with like my kids and stuff, and being at work and just talking about that stuff. But that didn't really pan out, and I wanted to try it again. And I just was not fulfilled with what I was doing in life. And with the opportunity with a platform like this, that you can get yourself out, you just be creative, you put it in a package and you publish it, and the world has access to it. Now, that's a lot easier to be successful at than going to auditions to be an actor or one of those pipe dreams. You can get on here and you can be your own publicist, you can be your own manager, you can do it all in the comfort of your home. So I wanted to go that route, and I wanted to do something where I would have some fulfillment. And like I said, even if it was a colossal failure, I wouldn't turn 50 one day and look back and go, I wish I would have tried. I wish I would have at least tried something. So I got that. So I don't have to regret it. Now I just want to keep moving forward, because I got this fantastic community, and things are going better than expected. Things are going better than 99% of people that try YouTube, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
So
really, like you say, 99% of people stop after the first one or two videos, and it's like, this isn't working, you know? So really, if you release, if you get 10 subscribers who you don't know, you're probably ahead of 99% of people who ever started. And that's really something. I think a lot of people underestimate that. And I think one of the reasons why there are only a few really established YouTubers is because everyone else quits. It's as simple as that. So I think big kudos for what you've achieved since November. And you can see I hate going back and watching old videos, because I cringe, because you see how quickly they evolve. You know, your techniques and your filming and stuff, it improves fast. It really does.
Especially when you stay consistent at it, because then every video is more practice, and you're seeing what works, what doesn't work. Maybe I should do that different. Maybe I should not do that. And every video, you're just constantly kind of fine tuning it. So when you look back at the first couple, you're like, oh, I should delete these off of here.
Because I have so many, like we were saying, because I do try to do videos that maybe are unusual topics or different ideas and stuff. I have so many, abandoned videos that I released. This is the first episode of this series, and there was never a second, because I was like, you know what, that didn't work. People like this, or they don't like that. And I think, like you were saying about the community, that's what's blown me away so much, was the community that builds up, and the interactions, and the people you get to know. You have real sort of dialogue. You know these people who watch regularly. It's really cool, and something that I never ever would have anticipated. But I'm so thrilled every time. Now, whenever I do a premiere, you can guarantee there are going to be these same names that I recognize. And then as things grow and build, and you get more subscribers, more viewers, there's more and more names that you recognize coming in for the premieres, and it's just wonderful. It's so cool. I'm really lucky for that. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you see it before you start a channel, and you see people doing live chats, and you see that there's a community. But when it happens to you, and you're running your own channel, and you start forming your own community, and it's almost weird, because it was like, I should have expected this, because I've seen it so many times with other channels. But it's different when it's happening to you and it's the community that you're interacting with. And I wasn't expecting that part of it to be such an influence on the channel and have such a, personal impact on me.
Yeah.
It's very, very rewarding, especially when you see those same names coming back and you get to know them. You always know that certain group that's going to be there no matter what you do. And it's awesome.
Yeah, and similar to like we're doing now, the interactions that I've had with more established YouTubers as well, I was really, I was so pleasantly surprised that even people who've been doing this for ages and are very well established are still very welcoming to the community, and they want to help you out, offer advice, work together, collaborate. It's just, it's a great sort of group to be in. So I think that's what's kept me so passionate about this.
It is awesome. I think that you have some of the best videos, and it's always it's never what you expect, because it's not like you have 20 videos in a row that are all the same. It's just the same thing every time. It's the same format. He's gonna do this at the beginning. He's gonna, it's never, so it's really exciting, but you kind of know what you're gonna get because you have you have a great voice for doing this. You have awesome energy, and then you can just see the passion for like figures and Marvel Legends just oozing out of your ears.
Yeah,
so
it's
you know you're going to get all that, but the content of the actual video it's always a little different. It's like, how is he always thinking of, like, why didn't I think of that? Oh, that's a good idea. Like, I should steal that. Like, they're always so good.
I can't remember what it was. So someone did do a video. I can't remember who it was, but I saw a video that I was like, hey, that was mine. Like, I didn't call them out. I don't remember who it was, and maybe it was coincidence. But still, I was like, nah, I don't know about this, pal. I'm pretty sure I did that a month ago. But
you say that you've gotten ideas from other videos as well, though.
Oh gosh, absolutely. And at the very least, I will try and credit them wherever I can. But I love seeing concepts that work, and like some of my favorite YouTube creators are the OSW guys who do old school wrestling YouTube videos, and they will have segments and expressions and phrases that, because I've watched them so much, that kind of ingrains on my brain, and I find myself repeating phrases or formats or ways of doing stuff. But you're naturally going to be a amalgamation of the different things, the different media that you absorb, and then you put it through your own filter. So yeah, absolutely. I try to be influenced by other people without copying them too much. Maybe I walk that line quite fine sometimes.
Well, that's what they say. If you go on to these people that have channels that are based around helping YouTubers be successful and giving hints and tricks, and the people that are the biggest in that niche, they say, go look what your favorite YouTubers are doing. Go look at the people that are successful in your niche, and take that idea, make it your own. I mean, that's like advice that I've heard so many times.
Absolutely. I mean, the one sort of golden rule that I always try to go with is just do. Why would someone come to your channel as opposed to anyone else's? And that's why I always try to do something that's not being done. And that's why I come up with such bizarre, sometimes off the wall ideas for shows, because I think, well, what has not been done and what would be interesting to see? And that's where, I'll sometimes have some really off the wall kit bash idea or something, or I just, like I said, I try to steer away from just straight up reviews, because especially guys, like some of the guys, I'm so jealous of the sets they have. Like some guys do reviews. I think Jay Hernandez, for example, has like an amazing diorama backdrop. I'm like, I wouldn't watch me when I could watch him. That guy's amazing.
He has awesome reviews.
Yeah.
I'm always telling people about Jay Hernandez, and he doesn't do them all the time. You can go like a month or two without seeing a review, but when he does it, it's I mean, it's a totally different animal. He's got to put days and days of time into doing that stuff with the music and the angles and all the different things. And the one with the what was it? It was the Thanos. He was reviewing this figure here, the snapping.
Yeah, great figure.
I love that review that he did, and he does a little skit at the beginning where is like a customer talking to somebody at Hasbro, but he's playing both parts. I thought that was hilarious, and it's just a minute.
I've not seen that. I'm gonna look that up after this.
It's so funny. Yeah, it's the Jay Hernandez when he's reviewing the new Thanos, and it's the only review of a figure that I've ever watched like a dozen times, because
that's great. Yeah,
it's funny, and his style is really good.
Yeah,
he does pretty good live.
If you can watch a figure review like it's a TV episode of like a show that you enjoy, and you can go back and watch it over and over, that's something special. That's really, really impressive. So yeah, I'm gonna go have to watch that and steal his stuff. That's a great idea. I'm glad you suggested that. That's what I'm gonna do.
I remember when you did your video, it had to do with picking a different version of the Sinister Six.
Oh yeah.
Was there more to that? Was there a reason, or were you just trying to pick different?
I think I've probably done so many variations on that theme. I recently did one where I picked a new 4 Horsemen of Apocalypse, and yeah, before that I did if Spider-Man made his own like equivalent Sinister Six.
Yeah, that was one of them. I was like, that's a good idea. I'm like, how could I do something like that wouldn't be a blatant ripoff of displaying model behavior?
like I said, man, I will get those copyright lawyers out in a heartbeat.
How did you? Where is that music that you use for your intro from?
Oh, that is from the. Everyone asked me that. I should pin that in the description. It's from the BBC radio play of Spider-Man, which no one knows about, but it's really good. You can listen to the whole thing on YouTube. It's about 2 hours. So if you're listening to it on like a podcast, playing in your headphones, it's brilliant. It was made in the mid-90s or the early 90s, and it's just a radio play. So just audio, but with all a full cast performing the story with sound effects and music, and like it's like listening to a film. It's really amazing.
Wow.
And the tiny snippet at the start of my show is from the opening song, which it's so cheesy, but it's really fun. And actually, it's the music is written by Brian May from Queen. So the lead guitarist of Queen did this music. So actually, yeah, my opening theme is by Brian May from Queen. So that's kind of cool.
And you're able to use that, no problems, no nothing?
Because it's so small. Because it's a little. I think actually there was one time by mistake I uploaded a video with the whole song on, and I never got a copyright strike for it. And I assume that's just because it's such an obscure song. It's not copyrighted. They never bothered.
It's not registering somewhere.
Yeah, it's not part of the copyright database. So you could put the whole song on there. I don't think anyone would bat an eyelid.
No, it almost. I always, ever since I first heard it, at the end, is that supposed to be like a Venom voice? You
know what? I think it's actually The Thing, because The Thing is in the radio play, and he sounds like that. So I think, although it does sound venomish, but it's a similar brute type character. But it's the Thing. Again, it's a really fun story. It's like it's Spider-Man, and he teams up with the Fantastic Four, and they fight Dr. Octopus and Dr. Doom, and it is like if you're going on a long car journey or something, it's great to listen to. It's a lot of fun.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Are you, speaking of Dr. Doom? When I put him up against other figures, or when I talk about him, people always vote It's always everybody's favorite is Doctor Doom. Are you a huge Doctor Doom fan?
I do love that Doctor Doom. I'm one of the rare people who prefers the bright, colorful retro one, but both of them are beautiful figures. And I think sometimes Hasbro almost do themselves a disservice by making such nice figures, because then when they make cheap figures, those figures look really cheap. You know, I'll hold up like a symbiote Miles Morales, and I'll be like, why is this the same price as this? You know, something's rotten in Denmark here, because if this is worth $20, this is not worth $20.
No, I was watching one of your videos and you were talking about Mr. Sinister, and that was a figure that I wanted for a long time, and I finally got him a few months ago. I ordered him. I had to pay twice as much as from the store, but I haven't taken him out yet. I have the intentions to, but I don't know. There was something about him that I just absolutely love, and I'm so happy that I finally got him. But I see when you were, I think it was either the video leading up to it, I think, but it was when you did your list with Sorrel. Yeah,
I think Sinister was on my list, definitely.
Now, did he make the final list?
I can't, honestly, you know what? I can't remember if he made the final list or not. I'm gonna have to. I need to go back and watch that video and write down what the master list was, because I'm guessing. I don't think he made the cut. I think he was. Yeah, but that's what's so funny, because it's so subjective, isn't it? You know, one man's trash is another man's treasure, and Sinister is great. I think if he had more extras, if he had more accessories, he would have gone much higher.
He would definitely. I would have had to have fought for that, but it's probably because I have a more of a personal story that I wanted it for so long, and now that I have him, so he's so favored. But yeah, I just think he looks great. The colors, the white face, the character itself. I think it looks great.
Absolutely, the white face with the big grin. And also just how neat and nice the paintwork on the diamond on his forehead. Like they really nailed it. It's so well done. I was very impressed, and the great sort of soft rubber on the cape. Yeah, that works really well. He's definitely he's a great figure. Again, I would have liked maybe some different hands as well, because I think he has one claw hand and one fist making hand, and that's it, which is fine. You know, you can make good poses with that.
He didn't come with any other hands in there.
Have a look. I might be wrong,
because he looks like I see the open hand and the fist hand.
If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Yeah, he doesn't come out with anything else, I guess.
Yeah. So again, like it's not. It doesn't make him a bad figure, but it just means that there are other figures that might rank higher because they do give you the option.
Oh, okay.
Heck, even Frogman has different hands. Yeah, come on.
And you can find him on Amazon for $9.99 right now.
And he's one of my favorite figures of the year. I love that guy. He's so bonkers and just bright and colorful, because that's what I want. And again, that's why I love Marvel Legends, because I want bright, colorful figures that are going to jump off the shelf when you look at them. That's why I love the new MODOK.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I got him sitting here. I seen somebody on Instagram take 4 of those. They had 4 Frogman figures, and then they put headbands on them and painted them to look like the 4 turtles.
Yes, I saw that one too. That was such a great idea.
And I'm like, I kind of want to do that.
Yeah, I really love that. I get so many great random ideas from seeing things on Instagram that people have done. And some of them, especially kit bashes, and some kit bashes are really common, like, you know, things like the bullseye head on the Hawkeye body for the Dark Avengers one. Like those ones kind of like everyone sort of knows about, but then I'm looking around and actually I'm looking at my collection and I can't see anything that springs to mind, but I will at least say there are lots of things that you see online that you're like, hey, why didn't I think of that?
Right, exactly. It's always like that I should have thought of that long time ago. Like, why am I seeing this?
Similarly, like this, there's like a lot of people ask about this Ben Reilly, because they're like, that's not the head that came with him, is it? But especially with him holding his mask, like this is straight off of one of my favorite comic book covers. So I was like, oh, okay, that's a great little kit bash, because then I get to create one of my favorite images from the comics. And again, that's where Marvel Legends are just so versatile. You can do so much with them.
Right. Did you get into any of the 12-inch Marvel Legends when they were out?
No, I the only 12-inch figures that I've ever had are they 12-inch, but they're Hot Toys. I've got some Hot Toy figures, which are great. But to be honest, also like I'm definitely like I'm a 6-inch guy. Like once they get bigger, there's something about it that like it doesn't feel like an action figure anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. And again, you realize the strength of the nostalgia, or the things that you really joy to these, is the fact that it's an action figure. That's what makes it so cool. It's the action figure that you would have dreamt of having as a kid. That you can't make action figures like that. It's impossible. Well, now they can do, and they're amazing.
Right.
Hot Toys are beautifully crafted, but they don't spark the joy in me like action figures do.
Like I wouldn't mind having like a Hulkbuster Hot Toys, something you could put like a centerpiece or something. Yeah. I just couldn't imagine wall to wall Hot Toys. I mean, it's too much. They're so good, so expensive, and you almost have to put them in a glass case and have lights and display them properly for what they deserve. That's 100%. A lot.
Yeah, but I've got 6 Hot Toys, and I feel like they're kind of wasted because they're not. I don't have the space to display them the way they should be, like you were saying, with lighting and make them look really dynamic. Because when they're not displayed really dynamically, they do just kind of look like dolls, and it's like it doesn't look as cool as it should do. Because it's funny, I will see pictures of the Hot Toys that I have online, and I'm like, those look so amazing, and then I look at them on my shelf and be like, that's not impressive. Like I know what I'm not doing right. It's not lit right. It's not shown properly. So one day when I actually, because like the whole reason I started doing this channel is because my life has been on hold for the last year and a half because of everything that's been happening in the world. So when I actually could move back out into my own house again and get a job and a career and start moving again, better believe I'm going to be displaying my Hot Toys properly.
Do you have any Hot Toys in arm's reach?
Yeah. Oh, actually, here you go. I got Robocop right behind me. So here's the first Hot Toy I got.
Oh, my friend Ben, he would love that. I remember when that came out back in the day, the first one. Yeah, I absolutely fell in love with this guy when I saw him, and I got this guy when I was in Japan. When I moved to Japan back in 2015, that was the first time really in my whole adult life that I actually had what you would call like a grown-up job with like a decent salary. So I got my first grown-up job when I was in my mid-30s. So I was like, wow, I'm still a kid, but I've got proper income now. What can I spend this on? Hot Toys Robocop was the answer. So I was very happy with that. So I've got a couple of Robocops, I got a couple of Terminators, and I got an Alien, a Predator, and they're great, but they're just not displayed the way they should be, and the way they deserve to. Do you like the NECA stuff when it comes to like Terminator and that kind of stuff? Oh, well, yeah. Since you mentioned that, yeah, I've got the NECA Terminators. Yeah, because I originally, again, it's always a snowballing thing, because I wanted to get just this one Terminator because this was the exact look that I had when I was playing like in the Terminator show that I did. This was the costume. Well, that's kind of the definitive Terminator. Yeah, and I was glad that they had like that the gray shirt as opposed to the black shirt, the sunglasses. I was like, perfect, nailed it. But then of course I was like, well, I got to get the rest of the cast as well. So then I got the T-1000 and Sarah and John, and then I got a couple of the 80s ones. The Sarah and John, you found that was a 2-pack, right? Yeah. Well,
There you. That's Sarah and John there. And actually,
that's a good version of Sarah Connor.
yeah. It's terrific. And again, from the show I was in, it's perfect because she's wearing the sunglasses and the hat. It's exactly the kind of, again, it's the way that the actors are dressed to disguise who the actors are. It's perfect. So you've got all this kind of cover. So it looks absolutely mint like the show that we did. So I was really, really happy to have these guys. But yeah, I got those and I was like, you know what, that's enough for NECA mainly. I like NECA, but again, they're a bit more statuey and a little bit less action figure-y. And I like my action figures. I think we can agree.
Yeah, those NECAs can be tricky when you have to warm everything up just to handle them without them breaking. There's a problem, but
yeah, it's like I love the Ninja Turtles back here, but any time that I opened the Ninja Turtles box, it was scary. You know, I was like, okay, we're gonna have to do this real slow.
Is that the same display from when you did it in your video?
Yes, I don't think I've changed anything in particular. So yeah, this is the same setup as the video that I did a few days ago.
Yeah, I watched you set that whole thing up in the video that you did.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, that was something that really surprised me, was that was the first video I had that like I felt did really well, was just my first collection tour. And like when I say really well, I mean it got like one of the first videos to get 1,000 views, and I was like, whoa, like how did this happen? And I guess people like collection videos. So that's something that, again, I try not to do too often, because you don't want to go to the well too many times and then people lose interest. So anytime I have like a big collection, sort of change up, swap around, then I might do a video for it. But
like
yeah,
the one you're working on with DC Multiverse.
Well, yeah, that's a big question now. I don't know where I'm going to put this display. I'm going to have to rearrange some things because shelf space is absolutely at a premium, but I will figure something out somewhere.
You'll figure something out.
yeah. I'm gonna need quite a tall shelf, because there are a lot of characters like the flying Batman who laughs and stuff. I need some height to get them displayed properly, but I'll figure something out. But speaking of which, Joe, I got to go do that. You bet. This has been an absolute delight, man. But my goodness, I said half an hour. We've been here for over an hour chatting away. You've absolutely kept my attention big time, man. This has been a real pleasure.
I appreciate you coming on here so much. It's really a great way to kick off the celebration I'm having for the 2,000 subscribers. That it came so quickly, all things considering. Some channels blow up overnight, some of them never happen, some of them struggle along for years, and then like with I think you had a similar experience where it grew quite quickly, and to kind of celebrate my first 2,000 subscribers, I'm so happy that you were willing to come on here, being a fellow YouTuber, somebody that I'm a fan of, that I always look forward and get excited when I see your videos pop up. And I thank you so much for coming on here. I hope we can do this again sometime.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. No, I love seeing people doing like the same thing that I did. And you've got really great content starting out, and it's a positive attitude and always good vibes. And that's what people tune in for. That's what I enjoy tuning in for, man. So thank you so much for having me on the show, man. It's been a real pleasure.
All right. Well, you take care, Dave.
All right, I will do. Thanks very much, guys. See you all soon.
All right, that was fantastic. And I just got a message that I'm going to be having a visitor to come. Well, my daughter's getting picked up by her mother. And she left 5 minutes ago. No, she's leaving in 5 minutes. So I will stay on here for a couple more minutes. Check out the chat here. That was awesome having David on here. It was epic for me. That's awesome. Nice. Frankenstein Kid? Did I miss something? Now, I don't know if Skydra Walker is still in here, but I'll play this for him.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't know why I think that's so funny. That was popular a few years ago, so let's see. Did I miss anything else? 2:18. So I still got a few more minutes here. It's early in the day. It's weird to be on here. I'm expecting my spawn, the one with the blue. I bought the yellow one a while back. He's over there in that pile. But the blue one's supposed to be coming from Amazon. Let's see. The ladies, man. Oh, it's a lady. Jonathan Rice. Awesome. Thank you. Music Blitz. David on. Good match for the channel with positive. You know, I was thinking about that. I thought maybe we'd have a positivity overload, but we didn't. I thought that was spectacular. I'm so grateful that I was able to visit with David, to meet and visit with a fellow YouTuber that you're a fan of. I mean, it's awesome. Yeah, Joe, I watched the whole bit. It went perfectly with my coffee and posing figs. It's good to see you, Jason. Let's see here. We're having another giveaway soon. Yeah, we're going to be giving away some stuff this weekend. I have 3 G.I. Joe figures that I'm going to be giving away. And they are Firefly. I have a... What's the other one? I have a Major Blood and Zartan. So, yeah. It was awesome. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Skydro. If Skydro, I'm warning you. I'm warning you right now, buddy. I'm gonna look you in the eyes. I'm gonna warn you. If I see you live on IG, I'm gonna watch you. Just so you know, I'll watch your live. I always look to see if Skydro's on there when I check Instagram. But you know what I really don't like? I don't like when I look at my phone. I haven't looked at my phone for a few hours, and I get a notification that I see on there, but it's like a couple hours old, and it says Skydro Walker live started a live video on Instagram, and then I go click on it. It says videos ended. What a bummer. I work from my house, so I like it when Joe's on this early. Hello, Joe. Hello from Greece. Alex, Gio. You know what? I'm going to write that name down because I am almost 101% positive that I don't have that name. If you don't know, or if anybody's hearing this that doesn't know, I'm keeping a list of FLCers. If you're a figure lover, if you love figures, if you watch my channel, then you're an FLCer, and I write you down. What you doing, boy? Come here. Hey, what are you? What are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing. You're in the kitchen. What are you up to in there? Looking for something to drink? Oh, looking for something else? Okay. All right, get out of here. My son, Alex. Hello from Greece. That's cool. All right. Oh, Alex. Got your name down. Appreciate the jewels, the diamonds you guys dropped. Want to get Spider-Man and Black Cat. That looked the best. What do you recommend? You can't go wrong with the Spider-Man. Yeah, we got people from what's the best Avengers #1 movie looking Thor figure? Well, movie looking Thor figure. Well, I really love my bro Thor, the fat Thor, but that's kind of expensive, and I don't think that you'd want that as your definitive one. There's one that was out probably from like the second Thor movie, which is probably the worst MCU. Shao Kahn fell. MCU movie there is, but it does look like your typical Thor. And that's a good one if you're looking for Thor, if you're putting Avengers together. And then they have one with his short hair that looks pretty good. And then they're coming out with that one where after he gets the hammer and the axe at the end when they fight Thanos, and the hair's all braided up, and he's got this more of a Thor outfit on versus his Big Lebowski get up he had on for the rest of the movie. So there's that one that's coming out. But this one here, I think you can get this pretty cheap in a 2-pack. They were originally $40, and a lot of those 2-packs are more expensive nowadays. But I think you can find the 2-pack that he came in. I think it's the first 10 years that he's in. I think you can find that pretty cheap. But there's a lot of good Thor figures out there. Probably there's a few more that are better that are comic book version. But I do like that one for your, basic Thor looking. Yeah, Greece. We got Turtle Build Customs, Jonathan Rice, all the way from Ireland. When Mr. Derntal is in here, he's from the Philippines. I have to go back and watch from the beginning. All right. Love to see you go live with upper FLC members. I do too. It's a lot of fun. Sky Joe Walker. He's laughing at what I said 5 minutes ago. That was so 5 minutes ago. I'm the late one. I want to get a Spider-Man in black. Oh, I saw that already. Where are we? Let's get down to the list here. Sorry if I'm skipping stuff. I've seen it on like Amazon, and I think you could probably find it on eBay too. Or if you're not too picky, you could find them loose on eBay, probably pretty cheap if you're just looking for the just the Thor figure. I have that's one of the ones with the short hair that I'm talking about. That's a pretty good one. And I know that one, the one that I have, the one that I'm thinking about was pretty expensive, but I don't know what he is right now. And you can, if you get to go into like the Facebook groups, there's a lot of people trading, a lot of people selling figures, and that's a good place to find ones that you don't have that are maybe a little harder to find, or that you might like ones that you missed out on. You could find them cheaper than what you find on Amazon, is some of those Marvel Legends Facebook groups. Ralph, hook them up. Comic Wise, it's the 80th anniversary. Is this one from the 80th? I thought it was from the first 10 years 2-pack. Maybe it's the one was it Cypher? Because I think I pulled that out with, was it with her? I don't know. There's too many figures, too many 2-packs. What state are you in, Joe? I am in South Dakota. I'm originally from Minnesota, which is just north of me, slightly east. Next door to Minnesota, North Dakota, Fargo, I was living for 5 years, and then I moved down here to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So I'm like right in the corner where South Dakota borders Minnesota and Iowa. So I've always kind of been up in this area most of my life. But I'm originally from right in the middle of Minnesota. Awesome place to be right now because there's so many lakes and so many campgrounds. Where I grew up, I was like 15 minutes away in any direction from like a campground or especially a lake. Have you seen Iron Studios? What is that? They sell good statues. Okay. I'll have to look that up. No, I don't. I'm not familiar with that because I don't usually look into statues a whole lot. CP Toys Collection. Carlos? Carlos. What do you think of Loki TV show? It's really dragging on and not a lot happening. I think that's probably because of the last episode. A lot of people are calling it like a filler episode, and that's really frustrating when you only have like, what is it, 6 episodes or 8 episodes. It's like, we don't have time for a filler episode. But it did drag on a little bit, but I was just looking for my Loki figure. I wanted to grab him because, relevant to the conversation, but I'm not seeing it. But I'm enjoying the Loki TV show. I've enjoyed all of the Marvel Disney Plus shows and Mandalorian as well. CP. I don't think I have that one written down. CP Toys Collection. Are you a viewer of Joe's Multiverse? Well, you're going into the FLC name list. I'm going to have to do a video. It's going to take 10 minutes just to read all those names eventually. I have to do a 10-minute video of just reading people's names. I'm going to come out with a shirt, though, that says, I am on the Joe's Multiverse shout-out list. You watch Friday Night Tights with their daughter? I've seen a little bit of that. That's the 2-pack with Lady Sif. Yeah, with Lady Sif. I opened that on one of my unboxing videos a few months ago. That was a really fun video. If you want to see me get really silly and a tiny bit inappropriate, go back and watch my unboxing videos. I got to do another one of those. I was just thinking that the other day. I haven't done one of those for a while. I want to do another unboxing video because I have so many figures that are still in the boxes, and I have a lot of fun with those videos. And then also my It Figures. I'm going to do another one of those because I really enjoyed that. All right, I'm going to jump through here quick, and then I'm going to have to jump off because I got to get my daughter ready because she's going somewhere with her mom, and then spending some time with my boy. I hope we see Sif again in a movie. I do too. I don't think that they did enough with her. I created this channel so I won't be using my personal family channel for toy related things. Oh, yeah, I don't have Ladies Man 727. Do you like the movie Ladies Man? That's one of my favorites. Yes, good. This is Carlos. All right. That's what I was kind of thinking. I was like, is that what's going on here? Because I know Carlos. Carlos has been an FLCer for a while now. He's an OGer. Come on, Joe. You don't remember me? I've seen every MCU show up through the Avengers movie, including all the different TV shows, but I haven't seen a single thing after the Avengers. I'm kind of burnt out. I don't know if it was burnout, but I wasn't. After Endgame, I was like, okay, wow, that whole story is done, and then the rest of the stuff that was coming out, it was still exciting. I was still interested. I'm still, I'm MCU forever. But that huge anticipation for that buildup, because for 10 years it built up to Infinity War and Endgame. And so a little bit of the air was let out a little bit just because, but not because I have an issue or I feel like they did something wrong or streaming around. Okay. Now is that the channel? Is it Ladies Man 727 that's on? Okay, I'm gonna have to go, everybody. Thanks for Ralph. The same G.I. Joe classified figs are still in the box, having a hard time finding the Target exclusives. You should be able to find the Target exclusives because they're reissuing them, so they should showing up at Targets if you have Targets available. And then I'm going to be doing a big toy hunt when I head up north, because on Wednesday I'm going to be gone for a week. I should still be able to do a couple lives where I'm going to be, because we kind of had a house full at my mom's, and that's where I'm going again. But it's just going to be me and my girlfriend and my 2 kids. So I'm going to have a room there that I can designate to have the computer and do the live. So I shouldn't have any problem with that. But I'm going to be doing a big toy hunt during that week that I'm gone. So when I get back, there should be a pretty good one. Some good, some new figures to talk about, some new come-ups, and a new toy hunt video. So go check that out. Oh, wow. Well, when I can go early, I will, because I understand that there's a lot of people out there that have conflicting schedules that would like to see the live chats live. CCP? Carlos, but I always watch your videos after work. That's cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome. And music was to answer Ladies Man 727. I got burned out because it was my goal to see every show movie before Endgame came out, so it's all I watched for about a year. I made my goal, but enough was enough. I hear you. All right, everyone. How does the giveaway work? Random name draw? Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be a drawing. I don't have the wheel and all that stuff. I haven't incorporated that into my system, and don't know how to do it. I'm sure I could figure it out, but I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. I don't know anything about that. But I want to jump off here before my kids' mom shows up, because I don't want to have to get off of here in a big hurry or anything like that. So I am going to say sayonara. I thank you, everybody, for showing up early in the day like this, and it was so great to have David from David Displays Model Behavior. Big fan of his. So appreciative to him for coming on here. That was excellent. I can't wait till tomorrow. I will see you guys later. If I have a chance to jump on tonight, just because I might, I don't know, but definitely tomorrow night. Check my channel for posts and updates over the next several hours. All right. I will see you guys later. FLC.